Hey guys, today we're going to talk about warm-up routines and attempt selection. I've been competing now for 4 years. I've had 25 or so meets, so I have some experience in warm-ups and attempt selection that I want to pass on to you. Max, Bruce, and myself all have different warm-up routines, different strategies for attempt selection, but the main idea is that you do have a plan, that you have a strategy, that you have a plan, so that you don't get there and try to figure it out at the meet. That can drain you of mental and physical energy and affect your performance. So in being at all these meets, I've seen basically 3 examples of things that don't work. One is warming up too much, going into the warm-up area and doing a full-blown workout. I've seen guys grinding out attempts during warm-ups. That's not what we want to do. On the flip side, I've seen guys do way too little. They'll go in and do 2, 3, 5 attempts, and then they're ready to compete, and that's not good either. A third example is somebody that just doesn't have any plan at all. They kind of walk around and grab whatever's on the bar, pick it up a few times, lots of nervous energy because they don't have a plan. So I'm going to show you what I do for my warm-up routine. Hopefully it's something you can use, give you some ideas, and help you develop a plan that works for you when you go to your next meet. My warm-up basically consists of 6 sets and 19 reps. Sounds like a lot, but it's not, because we start very, very light. Takes about a half an hour, maybe 25 minutes, because I take my time with it. This gives me a chance to really focus on the meet, prepare my mind, and also my body is being prepared as we go up. I like to start really light. I've warmed up beside world-class bench pressers before that are benching 400 or 500 pounds and more. A lot of times they'll start with 135 on the bar. Sometimes they'll start just with the bar. So kind of adapted that to a curl warm-up. If your max is 150, why start your warm-up with 130 pounds? You're getting into 90+% reps. So we start light, we work our way up. This primes our mind, primes our body for progressively heavier loads. So I'm going to show you an example of what I do with my warm-up routine. So what I have on the bar now is 90 pounds. I'm going to start with about 50% of my 1 rep max, and I'm going to do 5 standing curls. I'm not doing anything strict yet. Standing curls nice and slow, warm up the biceps, traps, back, just get everything kind of moving a little bit, get some blood flowing. Alright, nice and easy. We're not generating any fatigue at all, but we're getting loose, we're getting warm. So after a 3 to 4 minute break, we're going to put 60% of your 1 rep max on the bar. So I've got 105 pounds here. Again, standing curls. I'm going to do 5, not exerting a whole lot of energy, getting loose, getting warm. Alright, so no fatigue, but I am starting to warm up. I feel some blood flowing, feeling good. Okay, so 3 or 4 minutes later, we're going to do our 3rd set for warm-ups. I've got 125 pounds on here, which is about 70% of my 1 rep max. I'm just going to do this for 3. Again, we do not want to generate any fatigue, but we want to warm up and have our central nervous system getting primed for heavier and heavier loads. So 3 standing curls at 70% of your 1 rep max. I'm feeling good, no fatigue at all, but I'm feeling more and more powerful every set. 3 to 4 minutes later, we'll do our fourth warm-up set. This will be our first set that is strict. I've got the same 125 pounds on the bar, so we're staying at about 70% of your 1 rep max, and we're going to do a set of 3. This will be your first set of strict after the standing curls that we've just done. Alright, so that's our first set that is strict. We're at 70% of our 1 rep max. We're really focusing our mind. We're exploding. Again, no fatigue. This is not a heavy load. We're not doing any high reps of any substantial weight. We're keeping the reps, at this point, keeping the reps low, and the weight's going to go up, getting us primed for our opening attempt. Okay, on our 5th warm-up set, we're going up in weight. I've got 140 pounds on the bar, which is about 80% of my 1 rep max, and I'm going to do a double. This is weight that you should be able to do about 5 times if you were in the gym working out, 5 or 6 times. So not a big deal to do this for a double. So about 80%, 1 rep max for a double strict. Okay, I'm feeling good. Almost ready for my opening attempt. All right, final warm-up set is a single, and you're going to be at about 85% of your 1 rep max. I've got 150 pounds on the bar. My opener is usually around 90% of my 1 rep max, so this is 85% of my 1 rep max, 150 pounds on the bar. I expect this to go up nice and smooth. I'm feeling good, I'm loose. So I'm ready. If I were at a meet, I wouldn't do anything else, assuming that the meet was going to start in the next 15 minutes or so. I have had times where there's a delay and we don't lift for another 30, 45 minutes because of a computer problem or whatever. You got to be able to expect anything at a meet. If that were to happen, I might do another double before I go out for my opener. But ideally, I'm done, I'm ready. That's the warm-up routine. 6 sets, total of 19 reps, starting very, very light with standing curls and working up to a fairly heavy single on your strict. Then you're ready. You're ready to go out and try your opener. Okay, so we're warmed up and we're ready to go. Another place that I've seen guys mess up is on picking their openers. They either make them way too heavy or sometimes too light and then take too big of a jump to their second attempt. So you've got to have a plan. I like my opener at 90% of my 1 rep max, or at least what my goal is that day. So it can vary. Not every meet you're going for a PR, but you should have a goal at every meet. So I like my opener at 90% of that. This should be a lift that you can easily hit for a double and a triple on a good day. That flows nicely with the warm-up that we've just done and leaves you in the best position possible to hit something big on the second and third attempt. Again, there's other strategies. Max especially is more aggressive on his openers and his second attempts. Everybody's different. Through the years I've learned that I'm kind of a slow starter. I build steam. A lot of times my third attempt is my strongest attempt, or even a fourth if you have a chance to go for a record. So all that plays into your strategy as well. But in general, I like my opener to be around 90% of my 1 rep max, my second attempt around 97%, of my 1 rep max or the goal for that day. And then my third attempt, the goal, the PR, whatever you need to win the meet, that'd be 100% of what your goal is that day. Some federations allow you to do fourth attempts, so that plays into the strategy a little bit. Sometimes I will do 90% on an opener, 97% on my second attempt, bump up just a little on my third, depending on what I need to win the meet, to win best lifter, that kind of thing. Recently I've been saving fourth attempts for world records and things like that, just going for broke where there's not a real downside if you miss that lift. I hate to leave anything on the table during the first 3 attempts if possible. It happens, but having a strategy, having a plan, that's going to help you perform the best that you can that day. Another rule of thumb that I use when picking attempts, 90% for an opener. My second attempt is something I can always hit in training, or at least almost always hit. It's something heavy, not easy, but it's something that I hit regular. And ironically, that usually turns to be 96, 97% of your 1 rep max. On a third attempt, I like that to be something a little more than what I hit in training, because you've got the advantage of the meet. You've got the adrenaline, you've got the crowd, you've got the extra focus that you might not have in a training session. So just another rule of thumb, 90% for the opener, something you basically always hit for your second attempt, but very, very heavy. Your third attempt, something just beyond what you've hit in training, and take advantage of the adrenaline and the crowd that you've got. So a couple of different strategies there, but the main thing is have a plan. Have a warm-up plan. If you can use something I've showed you today, great. I hope you do. And picking your attempts, don't start too heavy. Grinding on an opener is not a good thing. It affects your mind, makes you subconsciously discouraged for the next attempts. I like to hit an opener really, really good and hard, and kind of feel like whatever they put on the bar, I'm going to get. You also don't want to start very, very low, because then that second attempt, if you take too big of a jump, central nervous system's not really primed for that. So I'm going to show you now an opener that would be normal for me, 160 pounds, 90% of my 1 rep max, and kind of how that should look in a meet. That's 160 pounds. That's what I've been opening with in the meets this year so far. Feels really good. I know there's a lot more in the tank. I feel warmed up. I'm ready to go. Mentally, I know whatever they put on the bar for the next attempt, I'm able to get it. There was no grind. It also wasn't so light to where it's more of a warm-up. But that is a weight that I can always do for a double and usually a triple. So I'm feeling pretty good. If this were meet day, I'd be ready for 170 or so on my second attempt, and then somewhere in the 175, 176 plus range for my third attempt. That's kind of how we're primed now. So I hope that you have enjoyed this. I hope you've learned something from it. If so, please subscribe to our channel, Curling Avengers. We put regular updates out for training tips, lots of competition videos so you can see how we're performing. We've been all over the country this year, DC, Baltimore, Virginia. 3 or 4 meets left to go this year. So if you want to follow us, please do. Hope you have a great day, and God bless.